Boys, we have here a new Barbarian build, PvP and PvE, all around the Whirlwind matches for the best class Barbarian from Crane Plains that it came back. Our boy Master Crane came back. A lot of you guys asked me to react to this because you guys are excited about this build. So let's go and check it out. And well,
hey, what's up, my immortal nerds? Great having you again on my channel after all this time. Today
damage.
with a full comeback of Whirlwind to our PvP and PvE gameplay. Finally, fully valid wall builds that let you carry your team in battlegrounds and let your barbarian shine again in dungeons after he took some heavy nerfs. New essences are out there since a few days, so let's take a look together into some new S-tier
It's using like the burning of nothingness, right?
Possibilities. Get ready for some heavy damage. Let's play. So it's finally time to let our wall shine. We asked for that a lot, didn't we?
Yep.
Out of the 6 new essences, those 2 are the best and really useful. Bloodsazer.
This one took me 1 week, guys. 1 week to get this essence. Like the offhand. I didn't want to use the loyalty points because I'm saving for the druid. But today in the morning, I got it. I got it, man. It was so good.
For the Wrath and Reel of Katas for our Whirlwind. Full 30% attack speed and 50% damage boost. This is really something. For the other essences, let's make it short. Helmet is waste, shoulder is waste, and chest, sadly, waste too. Stun immunity is missing, and without that, it's pretty useless.
I mean, to be fair, the pants are pretty good, but you need to use the lip breaker. You cannot use it with the Whirlwind. You gotta use with the lip breaker. That one is good because if you guys don't know what it does, it slows the enemies and prevents them from using the dash for 3 seconds.
Only the pants is valid for the last season's auto barb build. There it gets a good usage for the leap combination. But Whirlwind beats that one. So let's look into the Whirlwind.
This is interesting. Why is he using like the burning of nothingness? I mean, I understand in PvP, but I don't understand in PvE.
Stuff. Let the grind begin for the magic affix of the Whirlwind range. Even if strived for PvP, this is now the most important affix to look for. On top, 2 1-star gems will have their stage again. Trickshot and Photograph. We're gonna see them later in the PvE and PvP build. Both really good.
Is Master Crane converted into the dark side? Is he now using the Faltered Grasp? Is he also, you know, because we all know these are 1-star, but this gem, it is so OP, man.
And we are looking into all the different combos. What stacks and what not. Promised Sunrise? Ah, no, not anymore.
Nah, it doesn't stack with the main hand.
The PvE build. With that build on the puppet test, we get a really good 15 million DPS spike at the beginning and then a constant 10 million DPS out. And it's
one important thing, guys, whenever you guys are watching these right now, or you're watching my videos, or you're watching orders, or whatever is the content creator you're watching, please do not compare your account to the content creator account that you're watching, because the numbers will be different, okay? Or they can be higher, or they can be lower. Either way, it doesn't matter. What you have to test is like, is this build good for your account? Because depending on your substats, depending on your legendary gems, depending on a bunch of things, can actually differentiate a lot.
It's really nice because it's single target damage, and with that and the huge range of the Whirlwind, you're gonna deliver that damage to the whole crowd of enemies you're running through really fast. And this build really shines when it works together with other people and you play together with other people. You're gonna see that the damage even gets crazier. It multiplies very good together with other people. But why does it work so good? Where does the damage come from? So let's look at this all-round build you can use for any occasion. You can use it for the dungeon, for raids, you can use it even for challenge rifts, for a lot of stuff. We look through the different essences you need, you get your classic build overview, and we're gonna look at some variants of that build as well. If you're taking more damage or not producing that much damage, whatever, you get a variant for that as well.
Am I the only one that I'm just like looking at these wings? Like, bro, how much resonance is now Crane? Like 6,000? No, this is like 5,000, right?
Well,
they are
that
massive.
you can use it for yourself. So, classic all-round build, we go with Whirlwind, Wrath, the demo, and Sprint to be fast, of course. The damage combo, the main combo, comes from the new Essence Reel of Cutters. That means we have a high attack speed, 30% attack speed boost on our Whirlwind.
This was such a good upgrade
higher
here.
Damage itself. It's the highest damage on Whirlwind so far on the Essences. And we combine it with the fire.
Someone was baiting me early on, and they were saying that whenever you use this Whirlwind Inferno 7 essence, they were saying that you can actually buff up while using the Whirlwind. I don't remember who was the guy, because if I remember, I will have ban you. Okay, I will have ban you from my chat, because one of the biggest requests that I have for the Whirlwind is so I can go and I can actually, while I'm using my Whirlwind, I want to be able to use my sprints and my Wrath of Berserk. No, you actually have to go out of the farm, and then you have to use these, then you actually gonna have to wait for it and then to buff up. And like, I think like once they actually fix the interaction of the Whirlwind and you're just able to spin all the time and buff at the same time, oh my god, like we're talking about like one of the best and most fun builds in the game.
5 fresh claws. That essence got boosted lately as well.
I'll answer all your questions, guys, after the video, okay?
Attack damage boost, but it stacks on each enemy, so it's not that good for open world farm, but it's really good for dungeons and especially for bosses. So for dungeon bosses or raid bosses or whatever, because there you get the whole potential out of it. Then we have
I mean using your skills while you're using the Whirlwind at the same time.
a nice bleed combo working here with the new Wrath Essence, the Blood Sazer. It brings us a 50% damage boost while Wrath is active, and we activate it via the Ox Horns. Those Ox Horns now were improved as well, stacking 3 times a good solid bleed on the enemy that enables that 50% damage for the Wrath. And then we combine it with the Lion.
I don't understand why he's using Burning of Nothingness and not Falling Thunder, man.
Its main. We resolve that damage. So
you'll have like such a damage boost increase
that deals blood damage to anything within our range, and then we resolve it with the Lion's Mane. It's a pretty cool working combo with a lot of damage. We even improved that resolve mechanic with the Angmans. That gets another dot on the enemies, stacking
I am so glad that you know, the new build actually does not need this anymore. Like I personally, I was never like a dots fan. I like burst them. I like to go there and I just like to kill. Which the resolve actually helped a lot, but the way you have to build for the resolve, you have to deal with a lot of potency, and not a lot of players actually focus a lot on potency. So if you go like with the burst build, is actually going to be better.
But it's a fire dot this time, so how do we want to resolve our dots? With the demo, of course, with the old from the last season helmet, the Whirling Howl. And this is a wind damage, so it's really nice to combine it with the Angmans, because then the demo damage firestorms. And this is again a nice boost. Other boosts that we have are the affixes, of course. So every Whirlwind range affix you have will improve your damage in dungeons heavily, because range is everything there. That's why...
Is he using like the 4 pieces? 4 out of 4? Yeah. Oh, I mean, like, personally, I'm never like a huge fan, because like you're losing a lot of stats for you to have an increased range. And I can understand how having a bigger Whirlwind can impact just because you're going to be able to hit like more mobs. But like the honest truth is, like, I don't think like you like, maybe you can have like 1 or 2 substats, but have in mind that you always like trading damage for these, right? And it happens like the same with the Wrath of Berserk. These ones here is actually like pretty good, but
say this,
you know, like recently I've been trying to just focus on crit damage and attack speed. But on the chess piece, you don't have a lot of choices. These ones are actually go-to.
Working so good with their huge AoE attack range. And we need that as well. Wrath of the Berserker AoE is good as well. Not that important as Whirlwind.
In West Marsh, if you Whirlwind, other skills are locked in the dungeons. They are not? What? Huh? Wait a second. I think that's absolutely capped, and I'm pretty sure I'm getting baited. But I kinda just wanna, like, low-key, I wanna confirm that. Come on, man. You showing the screenshot like while using? I'll see. I'll test it out. So I'm gonna start whirlwinding, and then. No, you cannot, bro. Look at this. You are whirlwinding, and now you cannot use the other skills. You gotta get out. You gotta buff up. Use skill first. Of course you. Okay. Of course you have to use the skills first, and then what? And then what? And then what? Comes out of cooldown, and then what? It kind of like you cannot. Okay, use the skills, and I'm gonna spin. Let me see. It stops the whirlwind, bro. Maybe you never played Diablo 3, but what I'm talking about is like you never stop to use the whirlwind, and you can buff up at the same time. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm literally getting baited on caps lock. Alright, moving on.
But still go for it if you can. And another boost is the Snowdrifter. We still want to do our loss of control damage from the Vengeance Reforges. So we want the Snowdrifter in here. You could go with any leap combination as well, but then only those in the small area where the leap hits are really slowed for a short time, and anything around it not. You need to leap very often. It's kind of awfully. So Snowdrifter works pretty good. And
Crane is such a leap hater, man. He hates the leap. To be honest, guys, I prefer the sprint to the leap. Even though the leap was fun. It was fun for a while. You tell me that it was not. Like, how many funny moments we had here on the stream falling through the ground, right? And you know what? That was fun. Gladly, like they kind of hot fix it. And now we don't fall as much, but yeah, definitely the sprint is the way to go.
The magic affix for the demo that slows enemy sadly doesn't work here, because it's just working once initially when demo gets triggered. Not every hit slows the enemy, just the first initiation. So we need something. Snowdrifter, good idea here. Gems are pretty easy. Everything that makes damage, of course. This is a good thing to go.
Yeah,
and
it's like very free to play.
If you want to go
friendly.
for a more relaxed variant here, you can go with a damage gem, replace it with a trick shot. Trick shot is nice because it gives you a longer duration of your Whirlwind
I will say, like, this can be a bit more relaxing, but the honest truth is, like, I have been playing with it. You don't need it. You actually don't need it. Like, most of the mobs, they die after a few seconds. Between the packs, you have time to recharge your Whirlwind. Not only that, the Whirlwind recharges with the blood. And even the boss, like, the only use case that you actually have that maybe you're gonna run out of the challenge is maybe if it's gonna be a challenge dungeon with the golden boss. You know, like, whenever you enter the dungeon and you rush directly to the boss where it's, like, very tanky. And maybe it's gonna take you, like, 30 seconds or 1 minute to kill the boss. Maybe in that specific situation, you may run out of the channeling energy, but if not, it's not really needed.
You do not need to look that carefully for everything. When do you wall and when not? The new main essence refills, recharges your whirl, but the issue is we resolve the dots. So sometimes, because it's just recharging every once a second, sometimes it's not recharging because exactly in that time we resolve the bleed dot on the enemy. So if you do
no, but I actually tested this, and even if you but he's talking about the new main hand. Okay, I see what he's saying. So he's saying that if you resolve, and by the time the new Inferno 7 Whirlwind, you know, like here on the, if it doesn't have the bleed, it doesn't recharge, which can actually be a pain in the ass. Well, gladly, you know, like now it might be like I'm actually not using these. We are using like the other stuff, but it's interesting.
That
actually can be very annoying.
Or anything, take in the trick shot. It will make your life easier. Okay, looking at the build overview, we see all of that essences in here. Whirling
there it is.
Helmet for the demo with the Lion's Mane. We have then the.
I just maybe it doesn't have like a better slot to put here. I mean, like for me, it has to be the Falling Thunder, right? Like, yeah, this is like pretty standard. So instead of the leap, he's using the Snow Drifter with the sprints. So it is like the World Breaker, and then he's using this. He's using the new Blood Sizer instead of like the Bardic Breaker, and here he's using Burden of Nothingness instead of the Falling Thunder. Yeah, but like it's actually. I mean, I think this can work. I'll probably just like switch
Burden of the Nothingness. Why not the Sunrise? We will take a look at this after this one. Okay, we have the Blood Caesar for the Wrath. Duration is everything, so beneficial.
The problem with this, I'll tell you, whenever you lose the leap, is like you actually have to use this Harbinger. You know? And whenever you use the leap, you can have like that extra crit and extra damage boost, which is like really nice.
Effect duration is really important. I brought you a little sheet here later on how you can min-max that essences, legendaries, and.
No, I know what you're saying, but you were talking about like the offense. You know, I don't think you were talking about the main end. Maybe you were, and I didn't understood. But yeah, like regarding the offense, it's fine because they are always going to be active, like if it's Falling Thunder and Blood, because even if you resolve like right after a new bleed comes in, but what he's saying is that mechanic whenever you resolve and at the same time there is like this tick that you should recharge and the bleed is not there, then it's kind of annoying.
Affixes on that to get the best result. We have Wall, of course, Reel of Katas, the new essence.
And that can actually be an incredible, like a big problem for this build, I feel.
Wall and the Snow Drifter for the sprint. For gems, Trick Shot, if you like to improve the wall duration, otherwise damage, and some damage maybe.
So there's like when he says all around, it means like he applies for everything, right? So let's go here into. I'm gonna skip through because like this is a very long video. What is this? The
Sunrise boosts your movement.
So this is like it's gonna movement speed and attack speed. The attack speed from Promise, I'm pretty sure it does not stack with the attack speed from the main hand because you can only have one increased attack speed. So it is the head slot, or it is like the main hand, or it is like the offhand. You gotta choose one. And you cannot have like multiple stacks.
Tested with the Terror Unburdened, of course, that makes that frequent hit to show you how.
Which is sad.
Then we need a bleed.
I wish we had
that up to show you.
Let me see what he says.
We go first just to regular without any demo, and you will see we hit the we refill with the bleed and hit the puppet, and we come to a damage overall after 14 seconds of 2.2 million damage. Nothing spectacular, just to get an idea how much damage we deal. Now we first go with the demo, hit the puppet.
Okay, gonna get a 3 stacks.
And stack our Promised Sunrise 3 times to get the acceleration, and then we directly start whirling. So we should have an effect of the initially improved attack speed that decreases them, definitely, but it should be more damage. And when you look at it after
why am I lagging? What the hell?
14 seconds again, we are again at 1.92 million approximately. There are always some crit differences, definitely.
Okay, so basically Promised Sunrise does not stack. What is the lazy variant for PvE? Oh, okay. So the lazy one, it is pretty much you just put the Fallen Field and you get like the infinite infinite energy, then you put the rod of persuasions that's gonna heal yourself, and that's pretty much it. Bug with the Whirlwind. Okay, now I'm interested in that. What is, I love bugs.
Because many are asking, many are telling me there's a bug, the Whirlwind gets smaller when I activate Wrath, or when I'm using the Paragon with the additional size. Here a test for you, and that shows you that it's just a visual bug and not a real bug. We go with the 4/4 affix of the range, and we stay in regular form, wall, and you see we are exactly hitting the spot. We're going to the place where we first hit the puppet, the maximum range. And then
that's a big range though.
We activate
4 out of 4.
the Wrath. And you see the Whirlwind looks smaller, but it's still hitting the puppet. So the bug is not a real range bug, it's just a
it's a visual
bug,
one.
Okay. The same, by the way, happens for the Colossus. It looks really big when the Colossus hit.
Oh my god! No. Oh, okay. Oh, we zoomed in also. Okay. I was like, okay. Now I got it. Like he actually also zoomed in on the footage, because I was like, little bro, he has like a full screen stuff. Yeah, it looked like PoE range. Absolutely. No, guys. It zoomed out. So it has the 4 out of 4, but it is zoomed in. Okay. So if you see here, look at the size of my codex and look at the size of his codex. So it actually gave like the
sometimes, and it looks
it gave like the feeling that it was like the whole screen.
It's like you waltz over the whole screen. But this is not happening, sadly. It still has the same range as you see now, regular range, and
you guys do not need the 4 out of 4. It just like makes it slightly better. The builds will still work.
Stuff then that looks like it should hit. Okay, so it works in both direction. The range always is constant and correct. The visual is just a bit buggy. Now, we are not going with any primary related build anymore. No crazy combo out of primary and skill like we had with the hammer or anything. We are going with raw skill based damage.
What? No, damage to elites? What the hell?
That means we need to look at our reforges. In the past I had the Vengeance, 3-piece Vengeance bonus.
Yeah,
that
it's
brings
great.
You that 2% chance to deal for 1 second, that can prolonged with the beneficial effect, deal 100% additional damage. That stuff is not working anymore, of course. And as we want to go with an all-round...
Oh my god, this is... Bro, I had a guy telling me in the comments section on YouTube, is like, oh, Crane said that the Vengeance, it's not working. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, maybe it's not working because now we are using the Whirlwind and you don't use primary attacks. That's what I said. Like, it's not working because maybe he's not using primary attacks. So that's exactly what it is. It works, but if you're not using primary attacks, which you're not, because like this is the Whirlwind build, this is not gonna proc. But even that, with that even said, Vengeance, the triple ones that there is, it's still like really, really powerful. Like, look at these substats, guys. Bro, damage to loss of control, damage to demons, attack speed, and then this like universal to all of the classes. So even if you change to a primary attack build, it's still gonna be great.
Round build that can be used in PvE and PvP with just some adjustments. We can now say goodbye to the Vengeance. I do not want to go with the Whirlwind with any combination anymore. You could go, of course, for the Wildfire, or you could go for a PvP based.
So he picked like all skill damage instead of attack speed. I don't know. I think attack speed is probably better.
Build with for the Joel, Tremor, or anything, but for now I go with the full damage oriented
probably
combo,
for dungeons. No, it doesn't make sense even for dungeons.
The attack speed that do not stack anyway, it's just 30% on the new assets.
I think guys, he just has the damage to slots because he got unlucky. You know, he was trying to roll for like something specific and he just got unlucky. I think that's what happened. And he just slotted in like, okay, next time I'll have more reforged stones. I will just slot it in.
Any stuff, I go for
that's what it feels.
PvE damage to elites or pure skill damage. Okay, no bonus.
What he has here.
Damage. So now you have your
full... okay, this is actually a very good, wow, like actually really nice. So it's telling you what should you get in what slot. So on the headpiece, demoralize for the slow. Then you have the Whirlwind range, rat AoE beneficial effects, Whirlwind range beneficial effects. So you get the Whirlwind on the main hand and on the chest and on the pants. Okay. Interesting. Shield on low HP. Probably he's talking about the resistance, right? Stats and loss of control duration. Yeah. All right.
Spec of
this is a very interesting thing. We're gonna skip
different
like
combinations for farming. You could say, okay, forget the 5 fresh claws. Here I take the crit.
Okay.
Wall.
These are the paragons. All right. Okay, guys. Let's go. This is exactly what I want because I feel like this build it's gonna work. Any build in PvE is gonna work. But when I'm really interested, guys, is on this. On the PvP Whirlwind. Let's go.
Good here as well. So that's my PvE wall build. That brings me to top 1 damage dealer in dungeons nearly all of the times. Next, I show you my PvP wall build that brought me to legend with only 100 battles and a...
all right, 70. Listen, guys, anything above 70% is respectful. Okay, really good win rate. Really good, man.
Win rate of 76%. It's really fun to play. And again, after we were doomed to that auto fight tanks, we now have the chance.
I kind of want to try these, man.
Shine again as carries for our team. We still use the auto bar perks, but this is definitely no auto battler build. So let's take a look at my...
yeah, so you're gonna use pretty much the demoralize just so you don't get stunned, and then you use the Whirlwind so you can move around.
Wall bomb. We go with definitely wall, wrath, the demo, and the undying rage. That's a signature move. We are not going into crazy stuff. It's a good solid build. First, we start with the wall speed. So we take our
and damage reduction as well.
Sadly not stackable attacks.
But let's be honest, the main thing is like you don't get CC.
Speed of the reel of cutters, which is really good, okay? Don't get me wrong, 30% is nice. It's like a permanent Vithus activation. It's working good. And we take the terror on burden. So yes, auto battle helmet, but we can move freely while we roll. So mostly...
I just hope that I can actually, because it goes like really deep on this. And I hope that I can also play it.
We will. And with the latest patch update, where you can now move freely when there is no enemy around, we get to max speed, 70% movement speed in Battleground with that helmet. That's cool. We can go to battles extremely quick. We wall faster while we have that movement speed, so we move just faster. And
damn,
yeah, with that, the combination
is just Jesus!
Awesome. We take the...
You know what is coming to my mind? It's like, it's Beyblade! Dun, 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 dun,
damage combo of the ox horns from the shoulder.
Beyblade is coming to mind, guys.
To just deal a lot of bleed damage. And the blood phaser here to use that bleed. And while we are on PvP, the durations of bleeds are smaller, especially if your potency is low. So don't get me wrong, you don't have to build up crazy potency. No need for that. But we don't resolve the dots all of the time, so the dot stays longer on the enemy. It's different from the PvE build where we permanently...
Oh, so you're gonna stack it up, the 3 bleeds, and then you're gonna use your demoralize to resolve, right? That's what it feels like it's gonna be.
Resolve the dots. We do not do this here.
I wonder if he's gonna use like also 4 pieces of augments.
Resolve it from time to time. So Blood Caesar will work, and that 50% damage boost is a heavy damage boost for PvP because it's not strifed. Every bonus from sets and legendaries is not strifed like the gems or stuff. So you get full potential of that 50%, and this is the key why Whirlwind now works in PvP. We do deal damage now. We are still tanky. Terra Unburdened, that 30% damage reduction.
So here makes sense,
it's nice.
right?
And we go with the Burden of
Here
Nothingness.
makes a lot of
that
sense.
brings us another 20% attack damage reduction on the enemies. So those two stack because they have a different aim. One is on you and one is on the enemies. They do not negate each other. So we are still tanky. Of course, we are more squishy because we are directly in the enemies while we wall into them.
And on top of like this 50%, you guys can also, for example, stack like these things. Look at here. Where is it? Damage taken from players. This is also pretty good and it's not strife.
But still a good thing for especially high armor
But
value.
I think that these 50% they should be strifed in PvP though.
Use on you. You are still tanky with that. And then we burst. So it's not only the wall. We do not just deal damage with the basic wall.
Oh my god, I just copied your build from 250 million damage to 420. 420? Well, you're welcome, brother. Enjoy it.
That is already good.
I know
Now
the
we
feeling
go with
because
the
it happened the
seed
same shit
set.
with me.
4-piece seed set. Mean we deal another 30% of the damage we dealt while we channeled after we stopped channeling.
All
And
those
this
things are
is a good-
deco. All of these damage reduction, including all the affixes, are the strife in PvP. So even like those 48% from leap are not actually 48%. You have to. It's only 33% for
burst
that.
damage because it's always critical.
It's still really good.
Always hitting. You cannot avoid that 30% damage. And while people are running away from us, we wall. We get them for a time. Then
Oh wait, he's using 4 pieces seeds of gold. No multi-banks. No augments. Interesting. I mean, I never use like seeds of gold. Probably I did whenever I was like starting the game and I was playing like Demon Hunter for the first time, like with a knockback, you know, strafe build in like full like glass cannon. But I don't think I ever did.
feel confident.
I don't know if I don't know if I'm tanky enough like to run like 4 pieces seeds though.
Because they have some HP left. We still
Yo, Laurentin, thank you so much for joining the membership. Welcome to the free play gang, man.
battle them, and then they start running when they get low to 20 or 10% HP, and then we stop channeling and they just explode. It's a nice thing to do. And we combine it, of course, with the Ox Horns, where we have our bleed damage on the enemy, and we have the Lion's Mane in here. So when we stop walling, because we still have that helmet on us, we start auto-attacking with an AoE attack. So that attacks hits
It's gonna resolve
pretty often. It does not deal that much damage, but it resolves our 3 times stacked.
Yeah, I
bleed
have
on
the
enemy.
answers.
So
I'm gonna.
when we stop walling,
I actually like in the morning I made a PvE build, and that does not use resolve, and it is so much better than my previous resolve build. But I did not try PvP yet. Probably gonna do that.
our seeds explode and our
I know that Cranny did a PvP build, so I was curious to see like what he was gonna do.
That means most of the time you just have to wall them down to 50 or 30% HP and then let it go. Fine.
All right.
Good.
So you whirlwind, you put the bleeds, and then you stop whirlwinding. You do the 4 seeds burst, and then you attack them with a punch, and you resolve the dots. Okay, deal with it. Here. Oh, he has a dead slot. Well, I also have a dead slot on my lip breaker. It is what it is, man. Like the thing and the reality is like we're actually reaching to a point that even like broken, I mean, it's not broken builds. Like, okay, are builds that are only literally using, 5 ancestors or 7 ancestors here, but always using like this chest piece for the crit, right? Because the crit is gonna actually apply. What is using? Wait. Oh, the crit is for the faltered grasp. Oh, I see. This is for immunity to CC, speed, and damage reduction. Bleed. Lion's Mane for the resolve. I don't know if I will use the Lion's Mane though. I actually do not know. All right. But I can see, like, maybe we can try something here. We can try something here. Burst effect tested out. What is
in
it?
auto battle mode with the demo.
Oh, okay. So he has like 1 million from the 4 pieces seeds, and then he punches it and resolves and does 1 million more. Okay, this is actually kind of interesting. What is this? Bleed, range, and speed.
900 damage with the wrath. We go up to a 4,400.
Okay,
that
let's
says you can wrath now also can do this. It can also deal additional damage to bleeding enemies. Okay, so it's something that should work in addition to a modification on the wrath. So in addition to our blood sazer. We tested here. Once we hit the puppet with a different equipped essence, we look at the damage. It's regularly.
Oh, is this a part?
It's now 4,500. So we have our reference value. Change now the essence to the Falling Thunder. Now we should deal 80% more damage, not just the 50 from the first. But as you look at it now, the texts are both valid. They're not grayed out as inactive or anything. It should work. But if we now activate the wrath and hit the puppet again, you see we are still on the 4,500. So stack is not working for those 2 essences.
No, I think, and because a lot of people, they came to speak with me about this, and then I went to, and I also said to Crane, and I said, listen, I have tested like this morning, and it does stack, because whenever I actually do not use the Falling Thunder, I lose like 50 million DPS. So what Crane told me, in which I think it is the right thing, is like, you have 1 bleed, and this bleed probably triggers 1 of the offense, so you need to have like 2 bleeds to trigger both of them. That's what I think it does. And because you have the Ox Horns with the Whirlwinds, you're applying 3 bleeds, so you will always have bleeds on the target, and they will always be on. And that's what I get it. That's why it works. So, you know, like this like, obviously, man, like he puts like so much work in these videos, and even I or anyone can do like a mistake, and then once you like, and a lot of times also happens, man, like you put the video out there, and then people like point it out like something obvious, and you're like, fuck me, you know. It's just parts. It's just parts.
We are still on the 4,500. So stack is not working for those.
No, it does. It does. So okay, I got like why people were freaking out.
Another big topic that you have is the stacking of attack speed for the Whirlwind. We have that stacking 10% attack speed on the new katas means 30% overall. So first we can check the Vithus. We attack with the 2.
You get 8% from those 2, yeah, but you need to have the bleeds. All right, so guys, pretty freaking good video from Crane. I am so happy that Crane is back. Crane plays already 7,000 views in 22 hours. Pretty insane. Go there, drop him a like, and subscribe to our Master Crane. He mainly only does like barbarian content, and whenever he does like content, he's always a banger. So I'm really happy to see that.